stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
This is Lawin News headlines for this week. San Antonio Airport hit with delays, cancellations due to ice. Texas ranchers call for Trump to probe woke energy utilities. Intoxicated mother allegedly leaves infants in snow. 7 SAPD officers wounded in Stone Oak shooting. Marcos reassures Trump on the strength of the PHUS alliance. PVL player Michelle Cobb to undergo evaluation after neck injury. Von Ryan Pangui takes office as consul at Philippine Consulate General in Houston. These are your Lawin Weekly news headlines.
I am Neska, and tonight we bring you the latest stories in the United States of America, especially in the state of Texas. So sit back, relax, and let Lawin Weekly News be your guide to the news that matters most. San Antonio International Airport experienced some disruptions Monday due to winter weather conditions, with numerous flights canceled or delayed. The issues began overnight over the city and surrounding areas received snow, which melted on contact but left icy conditions on roads and runways. Airport officials cited safety concerns related to icy taxiways and runways as the main cause of the delays and cancellations, affecting both domestic and international flights. The National Weather Service had issued warnings for icy conditions, advising caution for travelers and residents. Passengers are advised to stay informed and flexible with their travel plans as airlines work to manage the backlog of affected flights. The National Weather Service forecasted gradual improvement in the weather, with temperatures rising in the coming days. Three individuals in Texas have been charged with submitting fraudulent applications for Economic Injury Disaster Loans or EIDL and Paycheck Protection Program or PPP loans, which were established to assist businesses and individuals impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The defendants are accused of falsifying information to obtain millions of dollars in loans from the Small Business Administration. The charges include manipulating business details, inflating payroll expenses, and misrepresenting the number of employees to qualify for larger loans. If convicted, the defendants could face up to 20 years in prison. The EIDL and PPP programs were introduced to provide financial support to businesses and individuals struggling during the economic downturn caused by the pandemic. The SBA was tasked with processing a large volume of loan applications, some of which were targeted by fraudulent schemes. This case is part of a broader federal effort to investigate and prosecute fraud related to pandemic relief funds. The exact amount of money involved in this case has not been disclosed, but authorities indicate it totals of millions of dollars, and the investigation is ongoing. A group of Texas ranchers is requesting an investigation into the causes of recent wildfires in the state, specifically asking former President Donald Trump to look into the role of energy utilities and environmental policies. The ranchers claim that policies promoting environmental concerns may have impacted traditional and management practices, potentially contributing to the intensity of the fires. The ranchers argue that current woke environmental policies prioritize sustainability over practical and management methods such as controlled burns and brush clearing, which are used to prevent wildfires. They believe these policies have led to ineffective land management and an increased risk of wildfires. The state, which has experienced frequent wildfires, has seen tensions between ranchers, energy utilities, and policymakers over land management practices. Energy utilities have defended their environmental policies, stating that they aim to balance energy production with environmental protection. At this time, there has been no official response from former President Trump regarding the appeal. Harris County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a 911 call on Tuesday afternoon in northwest Houston, arriving at the 12,000 block of Veterans Memorial Drive to find a woman and two infants, ages 2 months and 1 year old, lying on a snow covered sidewalk. The mother was reportedly showing signs of intoxication, prompting deputies to take immediate action to ensure the safety of the children. Emergency medical services were called to the scene to assess the infant's condition due to the cold weather and exposure to the elements. The mother was taken into custody and an investigation was launched to determine the events leading up to the incident. Authorities are examining the circumstances surrounding the mother's intoxication and her ability to care for the children. Child Protective Services were notified and have started evaluating the children's living situation. The Harris County Sheriff's Office is continuing the investigation to determine the cause of the incident and ensure the safety and well being of the children. Animal protection agencies across central Texas are stepping up efforts to address reports of pets left outside during the region's recent cold snap. Local authorities are issuing citations to pet owners failing to provide adequate shelter or protection for their animals in freezing temperatures. Officials are urging pet owners to bring animals indoors or provide insulated shelters to prevent forced bite and hypothermia. Several counties in the area have regulations requiring adequate shelter, food, and water for outdoor animals during inclement weather. In Austin, for example, the city code mandates that pets must have access to shelter from wind, rain, and extreme cold. Failure to comply with these ordinances can result in fines or citations. Animal protection organizations are also working to raise awareness, encouraging residents to report any cases of pets left in unsafe conditions. Volunteers and local shelters are providing temporary refuge for animals, though capacity is often strained during extreme weather. Authorities continue to monitor the situation closely and emphasize the importance of community involvement in ensuring the welfare of animals during winter months. The City Council has officially appointed a new city manager. The council voted 13-2 to confirm Kimberly Bizarre Tolbert as a new city manager who has served in the interim capacity since February 2024. This appointment makes Tolbert the first Black American or Black woman to hold the role and the first woman in more than a decade to lead the city's government. Tolbert, a former Dallas City Hall intern, now assumes the most powerful public office in the city. In her role as city manager, she will oversee critical projects, including infrastructure development, public safety initiatives, and community development efforts. The city manager is the chief executive officer in Dallas's council manager form of government, responsible for managing daily operations and implementing the city council's policies. With a background in public administration and urban management, Tolbert has built a reputation for her hands on approach and dedication to transparency. Seven San Antonio Police Department officers, or SAPD, were shot Thursday morning during a standoff at an apartment complex in the Stone Oak neighborhood. The incident began around 10:30 a.m. when police responded to reports of a suicide in progress. Upon arriving at the scene, officers encountered gunfire from the suspect, who then retreated inside the apartment. The officers were injured in the exchange and were transported to a nearby hospital. All seven officers are in stable condition, though the extent of their injuries have or has not been disclosed. SAPD officers established a perimeter around the complex, and a SWAT team was called in to manage the situation. Efforts to negotiate with the suspect are unsuccessful, leading to a standoff that lasted several hours. Residents in the area were instructed to stay indoors during the incident. After hours of attempting to resolve the situation, SWAT officers entered the apartment and found the suspect deceased. It has not been confirmed whether the suspect died from a self inflicted gunshot wound or from return fire by police. The investigation into the circumstances of the suspect's death is ongoing. Allegations have been made that U.S. taxpayer money is being sent directly to the Taliban, but the U.S. government has clarified that it does not provide direct funding to the group. Instead, U.S. financial aid is allocated to support humanitarian efforts in Afghanistan. Humanitarian organizations operating in Taliban or Humanitarian organizations operating in Taliban controlled areas, funded by U.S. assistance, sometimes face pressure from the Taliban to comply with demands in order to continue their operations. This has led to confusion regarding the flow of funds. The U.S. State Department, which oversees a portion of international aid, has emphasized efforts to ensure that funds reach their intended recipients. The department has implemented monitoring and evaluation processes to reduce the risk of funds being diverted. However, delivering aid in Taliban controlled regions presents significant logistical challenges. The U.S. government continues to support humanitarian work in Afghanistan with funds directed toward services like food, healthcare, and education for the Afghan population.
Tune into Legal Treats with attorney Eileen Ligote Dizon
every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Get your weekly dose of legal knowledge, especially on family matters like divorce, child custody, child support, estate planning, probate, and immigration.
Engage in discussions by posting your questions, comments, readings, or shoutouts.
See you every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. That would be Saturday at 9 a.m. Philippines. Don't miss out.
A Houston based legal expert has weighed in on the likelihood of former President Donald Trump successfully eliminating birthright citizenship, suggesting legal and constitutional challenges would make such a change. Paris, an immigration attorney for Foster Global LLC, a statewide law firm, explained that changing the 14th Amendment, which grants citizenship to anyone born in the U.S., would require a constitutional amendment. This would need a two-thirds majority in Congress, or a convention called by two-thirds of state legislatures, which Paris believes is unlikely in the current political climate. Trump has expressed a desire to end birthright citizenship, citing concerns over illegal immigration, but Paris pointed out that any attempt to bypass Congress through an executive order would likely face legal challenges, potentially reaching the U.S. Supreme Court. Houston, with its large immigrant population, could be heavily affected by changes to birthright citizenship. The city's economy, particularly in sectors like healthcare and construction, relies on immigrants, and such a change could have significant local economic implications. President Bongbong Marcos expressed confidence in the continued strength of the alliance between the Philippines and the United States on the occasion of U.S. President Donald Trump's inauguration. In his congratulatory message, Marcos emphasized the strong and lasting nature of the bilateral relationship and acknowledged the American people's tradition of peaceful transitions of power. The Philippines and the United States share a long standing alliance in military, economic, and cultural areas. This partnership has involved collaborations in security, trade, and cultural exchanges, and has been a significant aspect of both countries' foreign policies. The Philippines is a key strategic partner for the U.S. in the Asia Pacific region. Under President Trump, the U.S. has worked to strengthen ties with the Philippines, addressing this and promoting economic and democratic values. A 53-year-old French woman identified only as Anne has reportedly lost her entire life savings in a sophisticated scam. The perpetrators posed as American actor Brad Pitt, using artificial intelligence and digital tools to convince Anne that she was in a romantic relationship with him. Legal action has been taken against the suspects, with Anne's legal team accusing at least three Nigerian nationals of orchestrating the fraud. The scam involved manipulating images, chat logs, and possibly voice recordings to create the illusion of genuine communication. According to French broadcaster TF1, Anne was led to believe the interactions were authentic. The use of AI in this case highlights a growing trend where scammers employ digital technology to deceive victims. French authorities are working with Nigerian law enforcement to locate the suspects. Legal experts point out the challenges of addressing cross border cybercrime, underscoring the need for cooperation to combat such activities. Authorities are urging the public to remain cautious when engaging with individuals online, particularly in situations involving financial transactions. Von Ryan Pangui officially took on his new role as consul to the Philippine Consulate General in Houston in January 2025. Before joining the Department of Foreign Affairs or DFA, Pangui served at St. Louis University in Baguio City. He passed the Foreign Service Officer Examination or FSOE in 2012 and entered the DFA in 2013, his first assignment of Consular Affairs or DFA OCA. In 2016, Pangui was posted to the Philippine Embassy in Abu Dhabi or UAE, where he served as the third secretary and vice consul for 6 years. After returning to the DFA OCA in 2022, he was appointed acting director of the Passport Division before his recent assignment to Houston. Pangui holds a Bachelor of Arts in History from the University of Baguio and a Master of Arts in Social Studies from Benguet State University. He is currently pursuing a Doctor of Philosophy and History at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. He is married to Ivory Katama and they have two children, Hipasha Yvonne and Hadrian Elfrick.
Bold conversations. Big ideas. Your next step starts here. Tune in to Season 5 of Be Bold Why Not with MJ Conception. Live every Monday 8 p.m. CST and 10 a.m. PH time. Don't miss out.
Former Houston Astros closer Billy Wagner has been elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, joining CC Sabathia and Ichiro Suzuki in the 2025 class. Wagner's election acknowledges his outstanding career and contributions to Major League Baseball. Wagner, known for his fastballs and consistency on the mound, played for several teams during his career, including the Philadelphia Phillies, New York Mets, Boston Red Sox, and Atlanta Braves. His election honors his impact on Major League Baseball or MLB over his 16-year career, which spanned from 1995 to 2010. Wagner is ranked sixth in MLB history with 422 career saves and holds a career era of 2.31 with 1,196 strikeouts in 903 innings. The Hall of Fame election is based on votes from the Baseball Writers Association of America, with candidates needing at least 75% of the vote for induction. Volleyball team captain Michelle Cobb is set to undergo medical evaluations following a neck injury sustained during the 2024-25 Premier Volleyball League or PVL All Filipino Conference. The injury occurred on Thursday at the Phil Sports Arena in Manila during a match against their sister team NX Lit. The injury took place in the second set of the match when Kobe attempted a roll but became stuck midway, resulting in the apparent neck injury. Medical staff quickly attended to Kobe on the sidelines, and she was unable to continue playing, despite concerns over her to secure a bounce-back victory in the match. The full extent of her injury remains unclear, with further evaluations pending. Akari's head coach expressed hope for Kobe's swift recovery, calling her an essential part of the team. Raising its subscription prices following a significant increase in new members during the recent holiday season. The company added nearly 19 million new subscribers in the last quarter, contributing to a boost in its global audience. The price increase will apply to all subscription plans across various regions. The decision comes as Netflix faces rising expenses related to producing original content and improving its streaming services. The company has been investing heavily in exclusive shows, films, and documentaries to stay competitive in the crowded streaming market. Subscribers will receive notifications detailing the new pricing structure in the coming weeks, with the timing varying by region. Apple the App, a member of the Black Eyed Peas, has expressed interest in collaborating with the Filipino pop group Beanie, praising them as world-class performers. His comments came after he was honored with the KDR Icon of Music and Philanthropy Award at the 10th Wish Music Awards. Apple the App, whose real name is Alan Pineda Lindo, recognized Beanie's talent during a brief interaction at the event. Apple the App has always expressed pride in his Filipino heritage and has consistently supported Filipino artists. Beanie, a girl group from the Philippines, has gained recognition for their dynamic performances and catchy music. Since their debut under ABS-CBN, Beanie has steadily built a reputation with millions of views on their music videos and performances. Although no official announcement has been made regarding a specific project or timeline, fans of both Apple the App and Beanie are excited about the potential collaboration. As we brace ourselves for the upcoming weather changes, let's dive into what you can expect day by day. Whether you're planning outdoor activities or just preparing for the week, we've got you covered with the most accurate forecast. Stay tuned with us as we take a closer look at the weather patterns that will impact our region. Remember, here at Lawin Weekly News, we bring you the clearest skies to the stormiest forecasts.
Here is the weather forecast for Houston, Texas from January 26th to February 1st, brought to you by Lawin Weekly News. Sunday, January 26th, warmer with periods of rain and a thunderstorm. There can be ponding on roadways, with a high of 71 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Monday, January 27th, a morning shower in places. Otherwise, cloudy, with a high of 63 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Tuesday, January 28th, cloudy with a couple of showers, with a high of 70 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Wednesday, January 29th, cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, with a high of 71 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Thursday, January 30th, breezy and cooler with periods of rain and a thunderstorm, with a high of 62 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 53 degrees Fahrenheit. Friday, January 31st, rather cloudy with a chance for rain and a thunderstorm, with a high of 62 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 49 degrees Fahrenheit. Saturday, February 1st, plenty of sun, with a high of 68 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is Lawin Weekly Weather for.
So those were the latest stories in Texas this week. I am Nesca Santina from Lawin Media Network. Have a great day.
Lawin Weekly News.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Lawin